Coming up on this edition of the Newsfeed, the New River Valley Free Health Clinic in Christiansburg received nearly $2 million in federal funding.
Plus, Virginia Tech's Relay for Life chapter is spearheading the Gold Team movement for childhood cancer.
An update on one of Blacksburg's newest Hokie birds. Those stories and more are just ahead.
Roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Tatiana Kondershaw.
And I'm Dana Siegelstein. Earlier this month, Senator Kaine and Mark Warner released that a free clinic in Christiansburg, Virginia would be awarded nearly $2 million in federal funding. With this massive funding, it allows patrons to continue to seek affordable health services in the NRV. According to the release, nearly 27 million people across the country rely on health resources and Service Administration funded centers for their health care. Newsfeed reporter Emily Ball has more on this story.
The Community Health Center of the New River Valley in Christiansburg was awarded a $1.9 million federal grant through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services on February 7th. This fund allows the clinic to continue to provide health care for the community members at a low and affordable cost.
We were a free clinic, and then when the Affordable Care Act occurred, we got really excited because it meant that a lot of our patients who didn't have insurance were going to get insurance, but that also meant that we wouldn't have any patients to serve because as a free clinic, you serve people who are uninsured and you serve adults. So hearing that everyone in the community is going to get insurance, although exciting, meant how are we going to care for our people?
Slagle Perry said that this change caused the clinic to rework their platform. They are now able to bill insurance, use federal funds for a discount fee program, as well as serve adults and now children.
It's a big deal to get $1.9 million. It's a big deal to be able to be a federally qualified community health center because it's really hard to do.
In order to receive the full grant, the CHC had to go through an examination process where they were observed on their performance. In fact, they received an almost perfect score.
I think we're a high quality medical home for patients, a dental home. We're very comprehensive for our patients.
With the Mothership Clinic in Christiansburg, there are other CHCs in Dublin and Pearisburg who also serve the same services. Reporting for the Newsfeed, this is Emily Ball.
209 Manna Ministries have been serving college students at Virginia Tech since 2013. With a growing campus and an increasing student body, this nonprofit looks to the community for support. For more on the story, Newsfeed reporter Sebastian Alvarez joins us.
209 Manna Ministries is a nonprofit organization run by volunteers. The organization helps college students and Blacksburg residents who struggle financially.
The idea is that there are a lot of kids on campus, students on campus, who don't have food and don't have access to food like we think we do. And so Manna is here to basically give any student on campus access to food that they need.
The food bank, located in downtown Blacksburg, is open to Virginia Tech students and Blacksburg residents alike. Along with canned food and bread, toiletries and school supplies are also available. The organization is entirely volunteer-run. Virginia Tech senior and volunteer at the food bank, Carolyn Pangburn, explains the root of these donations.
It's mostly companies here. Panera is a big one, and just like Kroger as well brings in any food that just doesn't look like grocery material, I guess, just that isn't perfect. So they bring perfectly good food here to help the students out.
The community, along with local businesses, ensure there are enough supplies for students that visit the food bank. For now, the organization aims to recruit more volunteers and partner with more local businesses to accommodate the growing student body. This is Sebastian Alvarez reporting for the Newsfeed.
Virginia Tech recently hosted a career fair for aspiring engineers. Normally, this type of event would be sponsored by one of the departments in the School of Engineering, but this was not the case. The Council for Advancement of Minority Engineering Organizations, or CAMEO for short, is the entirely student-run organization which sponsored the career fair. Several hundred engineering students flocked to the first floor of the ballroom at the Inn at Virginia Tech for their opportunity to make a good impression on potential employers. Cameo was able to secure a wide variety of companies for the students to speak with, ranging from J.Crew to John Deere. The organizers were very pleased with the turnout at this year's event and are hoping to add more companies to next year's list. Cameo will also continue its mission to provide funding and scholarships for students.
Relay for Life is a special tradition at Virginia Tech as it fully embraces the school motto of Ut Prosim, that I may serve. As the largest collegiate relay, every year the team looks for creative ways to better support the American Cancer Society. This year, VT Relay for Life will be the first university to bring a brand new initiative called Gold Together. Newsfeed reporter Hannah Bumgarner has more in this report.
The story of Virginia Tech senior Seth Long's battle with a form of pediatric cancer reached across campus last semester as his girlfriend Catherine DiDonato won Homecoming Queen upon the platform of childhood cancer. Relay for Life saw an opportunity to further support this platform by creating a #GoldTogether team led by Long's organization, German Club.
He did a lot for us last year, made videos, and was very supportive of us, as well as us giving him all the resources he needed. And we really felt as though German Club could get behind our cause and do the amazing things that we wanted them to do with it.
Founder of the Gold Together initiative, Cole Escher, will be a speaker at this year's Relay event. Cole will also get to spend time with German Club to find out why this cause is so important to them.
So Cole was diagnosed with brain cancer when he was 12 years old, and since him and his mom have kind of started this initiative to fight back for the people who don't have a voice, for the 6-year-olds and the 7-year-olds who only have their parents to advocate for them.
American Cancer Society partner for VT Relay, Samantha Polito, has been working alongside the 3 directors to bring this initiative to Tech since last fall.
One of the unfortunate things with Relay is you aren't able to choose where you allocate the funds, and so with the Gold team we will be able to choose to allocate that right toward pediatric cancer, which is special.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, this is Hannah Bumgarner.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, a look at the common dog breed restrictions. Blacksburg landlords are implementing at their properties.
And Hillel at Virginia Tech welcomes one of Blacksburg's newest Hokie birds. That story and more after this break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Dana Siegelstein.
And I'm Tatiana Condershaw. Adding a dog to your family can be a fun and exciting time. However, when applying for a new apartment or a house, many new pet owners fail to realize that their animal's breed can get them denied. Breed restriction laws, or BSLS, are laws that prohibit particular types of dogs. Many apartment complexes enacted these terms in response to publicized dog bites, in order to protect the building's best interest. German Shepherds, Huskies, and Pit Bulls are some of the few breeds restricted in Virginia. While some argue against the discriminatory nature of BSLs, owners such as Alex Goldberg and his Wolf Apollo say ultimately pet owners need to be held accountable when owning a large dog. Whether your breed of dog will be permitted is up to the leasing company's discretion. When considering adding a dog to your family, owners should be aware of the potential conflicts with these laws.
The word feminism is one that evokes a variety of meanings and definitions around the world, and the Blacksburg community is no different.
There are multiple organizations at Virginia Tech and the town of Blacksburg that seek to empower, inspire, and educate women while helping them develop their ideas on what feminism means to them.
Newsfeed reporter Casey Molina joins us to tell us how local organizations are teaching women's empowerment. Casey?
Thanks, Dana and Tatiana. That's right. Blacksburg, Virginia, and the Virginia Tech community have multiple initiatives and organizations aimed at providing women of all ages with resources that will help them build confidence and give them a platform to be heard.
If you've ever wondered who's behind campus-wide events such as the Clothesline Project and the annual Take Back the Night March, look no further than United Feminist Movement. This student-led organization's mission is to provide marginalized groups a voice on campus and within larger world issues that affect them. Among United Feminist Movement, there are other community organizations seeking to empower a younger generation of women. The AWARE program, in partnership with the Virginia Tech Women's Center, is an organization that mentors 6th through 8th grade girls at Blacksburg Middle School. The program provides them with female college mentors and facilitates discussion on a variety of topics.
We prepare weekly, flexible lesson plans for them on topics such as like body image, healthy eating, sexuality, things that aren't covered in the classroom.
In addition to being the planning center for the AWARE program, the Women's Center also offers resources for women's health and opportunities for campus involvement.
This month, the Women's Center is working in partnership with the Black Culture Center to produce a series of talks about minority feminism.
So the series is not just about lectures, it's about also putting these people in the classroom so students can see. Because normally, I get students who I'm their only Black woman professor for their entire 4 years at college. And so also letting students see that there are people who are doing dope work.
The Women's Center will be sponsoring a variety of programming in honor of Women's Month in March.
In honor of the Women's Center celebrating 25 years, the month of March will be packed with programming centering around the achievements of women from multiple backgrounds and areas of expertise. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Casey Molina. Back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Casey. There's a new addition to the Hillel Center at Virginia Tech. The Hillel Center is a Jewish center at Virginia Tech that's dedicated to inspiring future leaders through a Jewish lens, through travel, spirituality, and career development. The Hillel Center is the heart for over 2,000 Jewish undergraduates and graduates at Virginia Tech. The center includes a temple, lounge, and other fun things for Jewish students to use. Shoshana Levinson, a senior at Virginia Tech, designed and painted a new Hokie bird to stand proudly outside of the center.
Paint one of the official Hokie bird statues as a student is really exciting, and it's also just really rewarding to see it standing here in front of my Hillel building with my friends and peers walking past it and benefiting from it.
Inspired by the Israel trip students can take through the Hillel Center, Levinson's artwork on the new Hokie bird portrays her favorite parts of her trip, relating it back to Virginia Tech, showcasing one student forming the VT hand signal.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching. I'm Dana Siegelstein.
And I'm Tatiana Kondershaw.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Coming up on this edition of the Newsfeed, we talked to freshman track star Ja'Cory Patterson, who is breaking all kinds of school records in his first season with the team.
Plus, we get an update of what the town of Blacksburg is developing on the old Blacksburg Middle School grounds.
And we learn about how one class on wine is changing the way students approach drinking. Those stories and more are just ahead.
Roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Ryan Wilson.
And I'm Abby Dunn. Virginia Tech's indoor track and field season is coming to a close, and one student athlete looks to continue his season-long dominance. Freshman Ja'Cory Patterson is setting school records left and right in his first Hokie debut. The South Carolina native started his dominance by setting a junior world record in the 300-meter dash with a time of 32.49 seconds. He continued with a school record in the 200-meter dash, which is still the conference's fastest time. With this high-level production, the track and field community is starting to take notice. Fans are encouraged to support Patterson and the rest of Virginia Tech track and field team as they host the ACC Track and Field Championships from Thursday, February 21st through Saturday, February 23rd. For years, the old Blacksburg Middle School has been vacant. During this time span, plans were formed for a new development on the property. This property to be called the Midtown Development. After an official plan was approved last fall to begin construction, there has still been no action taken 6 months later. For more on this story, Newsfeed reporter Josh Gann has more details.
This ground right here is where the old Blacksburg Middle School used to stand. Since the school was relocated, the town has envisioned restaurants, residencies, and much more being built right here. While the location is prime for business, Blacksburg zoning has stood in the way of much planning for the Midtown development. The process of turning this piece of land right past Clay Street into a vibrant mixed-use community has not been an easy one. The 21 acres of land is currently zoned for quote-unquote single-family home. Yet SAS project coordinator Ian Friend is hopeful that this current development plan will be approved soon.
So actually last night, February 19th, we just had a work session with the Planning Commission, which went really well. The next process is taking the comments they gave us, maybe looking at our plans again and changing some things up, and then going to a public hearing at the beginning of March, which then puts us on track to getting approved by the end of spring, hopefully by town council, and then hopefully, getting started in the summer with some construction.
The Midtown development seeks to be a real asset to downtown Blacksburg and Montgomery County. With plans to add places to meet for outdoor concerts, dining, and more, Midtown aspires to bring the community together. According to the president of 3E Consulting, Andrew Kassoff, Midtown means a lot to the residents of Blacksburg.
The public response to the current proposal has been largely very positive. There's a big interest in seeing this project go forward. This is a tremendous opportunity for the town. It's 20 acres, just kind of unheard of, that would really allow the town to establish the tenor of the revitalization of the downtown.
Once zoning is approved, the Midtown development seems ready to begin construction. Reporting for the Newsfeed, this is Josh Gann.
Head injuries have caused a great deal of problems for football leagues and players alike over the years. Football, for the most part, has been slowly making the transition to become a safer game. Virginia Tech has its own helmet lab that researches brain injuries in order to foster safer athletic and practice and coaching techniques to reduce head-related injuries. Newsfeed reporter Noah Hairston has more in this report.
Brain Injury Awareness Month is coming up in less than 2 weeks. A place that knows a thing or two about dealing with brain injuries in some way is the Helmet Lab here at Virginia Tech.
What the Virginia Tech Helmet Research Lab does, we use actual real field and data from like censored helmets, etc., to determine what would a player be exposed to playing that sport.
According to Miller, the lab designs test measures around head impact and then use their findings to effectively rate the helmets. Mark Begonia, the lab's director of testing, stated that it is these impacts players will experience that cause both linear and rotational head motion.
When you start looking at different types of testing, in the past, these types of test setups would only look at the linear motion of the head, and that involves very severe types of injuries, like a skull fracture.
Begonia claimed that nowadays people know that it also involves rotational head motion, and that now there's a lot of different technologies and helmets that may help try to reduce it as well.
Before we even developed our testing process here in the laboratory, we actually looked at years worth of on-field data.
Begonia would go on to say that they studied the data in order to determine the more common locations where brain injuries or concussions occurred, and also to determine how fast the impacts are occurring. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Noah Hairston.
Virginia Tech is expanding all over Virginia, including deals with Amazon. With a new Amazon headquarters coming to Northern Virginia, Virginia Tech's Blacksburg campus plans to expand the computer science program to meet the need for new jobs. Over the next 5 to 8 years, the university will expand the department in related fields by 2,000 students and 130 new faculty members. Ben Anderson has more in this next report.
In support of Amazon's deal to put a new headquarters in Arlington County, Virginia, the state government is investing more money into Virginia universities to help meet the needs of the company. For Virginia Tech, the deal will support the expansion of the computer science department and related fields by adding more students and faculty. Dr. Stephen Edwards tells about his department's expected growth.
It looks like Virginia Tech is going to get a significant share of the investment in order to grow student population, which should contribute to a greater number of graduates, right? Hopefully 500 more graduates a year coming out in computing and related disciplines.
Dr. Calvin Ribbons says to meet the needs of these growing programs, the university has plans to expand the department's resources.
There's immediate plans, immediate meaning 3, 4, 5 years, but the state legislature is looking to invest in at least one more building that will involve computer science. It might not be entirely computer science, but a good part of it.
On top of the new computer science building, plans include renovations to Randolph Hall, which was completed in 1959 and is home to many of the College of Engineering's programs.
We hope that we are going to grow into the recognized leader in supplying graduates in computing related job areas in the state.
As the department expands, more and more opportunities will be available for Virginia Tech students in the computer science department, meeting the needs of the state workforce. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Ben Anderson.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, we learn more on how a class on wine has allowed students to take a new approach on drinking.
And we learn about how one after-school elementary program allows students to connect with the Blacksburg community. That story and more after this break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Abby Dunn.
And I'm Ryan Wilson. There's a class taking 21-year-olds at Virginia Tech by storm. Professor John Boyer is changing the drinking landscape at Virginia Tech with his Geography of Wine course.
Newsfeed reporter Ryan Niblock joins us from the newsroom to tell us more. Ryan?
Thanks, Abby and Ryan. Geography of Wine is an online crash course into wine drinking. Students are invited to attend wine tastings, dinners with wine pairings, and to, of course, enjoy a glass while studying. The class invites students to slow down and learn to enjoy the craft and art of wine through online lectures. The Vintage Cellar, where wine tastings are held every week for students, include a wide variety for students to taste in efforts to expand their palate. Jeff Owens, department manager at the Vintage Cellar, an establishment often featured in course videos, speaks on the development he sees in students over the semester.
You know, the Americans are used to big, jammy, fruity, sweet things, and you know, the person that wants to expand their palate, it takes time. The class helps a lot though. When you taste 5 wines a week, 4 of them being dry, every single week for an entire semester, you get a lot more. I mean, you're thrown into the fire there, so.
Geography of Wine is changing the way college students approach alcohol, gearing them towards the next steps in life. It's a refreshing, almost recreational twist to an academic course. Revolutionary courses like this at Virginia Tech look to light a bright future for scholars and wine drinkers alike. I'm Ryan Niblock reporting. Back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Ryan. In other news, engineering senior design projects are now underway as many students are working hard to complete their work. A group of biological systems engineers are working on a project to create a piece of automated equipment that could help prevent kidney disease. Once it is completed, this automation could help save millions from kidney disease and kidney failure. Reporting more on the story is Newsfeed reporter Sydney Dittmar.
It's that time of the year when seniors are tirelessly working away in order to complete their senior design projects, and this group is no exception. This group of all-female engineers are working on a specific piece of equipment that could save millions of lives.
Automating the rerometric system for chronic kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease is a big problem in the U.S. Most people that have it don't know they have it.
Millions of people suffer from this disease. In the United States alone, 31 million people have chronic kidney disease. Sarah and her group are working hard to create their project in order to help with this disease.
An end goal, not just for our project, but for extensions of this project, is to have the system be implemented in hospitals and dialysis centers, or even a doctor's office, so that if you go and you give a urine sample, they can just incorporate this process.
This group is still planning out some of the components of their project, but soon they will be putting it together and creating this piece of automation. These types of senior design projects offer a new type of experience for these engineering students.
I think we've been taught in engineering how to solve problems. I think if you were to reduce engineering down to one sentence, it's problem solving. And this is actually getting to do real-world applications of problem solving.
Even though these ladies will not be able to fully complete their project in the time span that they have, they hope their project gets passed on to future engineers to continue what they started. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Sydney Dittmar.
The cornerstone motto of Virginia Tech, Ut Prosim, that I may serve, extends well beyond the campus and community of students. The people of Blacksburg are constantly finding spaces to give back. In fact, one of these spaces happens to be the cafeteria of a local elementary school. Harding Avenue Elementary School occupies over 320 students Monday through Friday. Because of this, it is no shock that teachers find themselves overwhelmed and unable to give each child the one-on-one time they long for. The elementary school has taken steps to solve this by partnering with the local community to create the mentorship program Lunch Buddies. Lunch Buddies provides a specialized training for volunteers. Then they are each assigned to a single child in need of extra attention during their lunch break. The program's commitment is that each volunteer would show up for one lunch per week and serve as a buddy to their student. Lunch Buddies strives to create a relational mentorship program built through consistency and trust to serve the students and teachers of Harding Avenue.
Hokie Connect is a transfer student mentor program that began in the fall of 2018. This peer mentor program is free and runs for the first 6 weeks of each semester. The program connects currently enrolled transfer students with incoming transfer students for their first year at Virginia Tech. The Academic Advising Center is looking for current VT transfer students who are interested in becoming a mentor. Mentees are expected to meet with their mentor at least twice. Hokie Connect social events include bowling at the break zone, ice cream socials, and painting a new Hokie bird to place on campus.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Wilson.
And I'm Abby Dunn.